Damage 365 Radio with your host Kevin Nasta and John Torrey.
There is only one. It's time to play the game. Time to play the game! It's all about the game, and how you play it, all about control. And if you can take it, all about your debt. And if you can pay it, it's all about...
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Damage 365 Radio, episode number 34. I want to welcome you back. We had a great show last week, and we have another great show this week. As you heard, there's only one. I am riding solo today, Coach Kev, all by his lonesome. But the show will go on. And as always, we'll kick the show off the same way we do every week with some shout-outs. We missed a shout-out last week, so we want to definitely get on that for this week. We want to congratulate two current league mates, Richie Bach and Nicole Castano, or now as they should be known as Mr. and Mrs. Richie Bach. Congratulations, guys, on your wedding last weekend. From Damage Softball and Damage 365 Radio, we wish you all the luck, best wishes, and lots of health in the near future, and maybe a little Nicky coming out soon. Happy birthday to Damage alumni Danielle Mormino, and happy birthday to one of my best friends on this planet, Sabrina Nero, who spent Thanksgiving in Kentucky. Yes, folks, on purpose, she spent Thanksgiving in Kentucky. But we want to wish her a happy birthday, and we'd like to thank the Muppets Band for definitely giving us a great happy birthday song.
I like it. Oh, you,
Yes, sir, we promised you a great main event here tonight.
Andre,
The China.
WrestleMania! Hulkamania is running west! My God, what a...
And we're going to get right into some wrestling. I will do the WWE Clubhouse report today. WWE Champ versus World Heavyweight Champion. That's what's being billed right now. A unification match between Randy Orton and John Cena. This would not be the first time that would be billing a unification match. Would not be the first time we would have an undisputed heavyweight champion. And no, Chris Jericho is not the first ever undisputed champion. Right now on record that we know of, pre-WrestleMania 1, we don't know much information of, but WrestleMania 4 was the first ever undisputed World Heavyweight Champion. That would be the Macho Man Randy Savage for winning the tournament at WrestleMania 4. And then the Royal Rumble, which Rick Nature Boy Flair won, and he became the second ever WWE Undisputed Heavyweight Champion. Mr. Chris Jericho, who invented Undisputed Champions, was third. If you want to say he was the first unified champion, then go right ahead, because then you would be correct. Because Undisputed and Unified are two totally different things. But here are my picks for that match, because this is what I see that's going to happen at this pay-per-view. Both men climb up the two separate ladders, if not both sides of the ladder. John Cena grabs the WWE title. Randy Orton grabs the World Heavyweight Championship title simultaneously. Both fall from the ladder, clutching their respective titles in hand. And the match becomes a... John Cena is now the WWE Champion, and Randy Orton is now the World Heavyweight Champion. We do not have an Undisputed Champion. We do not have a Unified Champion. But it puts the belts where WWE really wants them to begin with. They want John Cena, who's the real face of the WWE, with the brand title, and Randy Orton, who they're trying to give this major push, a little kick in the pants, and they're going to trade off and give him the World Heavyweight Championship. And the reason why I say that, because it sets up future title matches that people actually want to see, and title matches that they have been playing with, but they really haven't done anything with. And this sets up the road to WrestleMania, where you could see Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight Championship, and CM Punk versus John Cena for the World Wrestling Entertainment brand title. And it also allows the feud with Triple H and The Big Show to brew up. So now you got 6 guys, 6 matches, everybody's happy. You concentrate on Alberto Del Rio, maybe somewhere down the road, doing something else. Maybe when Sheamus returns, you'll see Sheamus versus Alberto Del Rio. Who really knows what's going to go on? But you're going to see, the little changes here and there. You're starting to see where WWE is trying to make Roman Reigns a big focal point. They did that at Survivor Series again, and then Monday Night Raw. So maybe he does a little face turn and he gets himself a little individual title career, individual run at a title for his future. Maybe you see a little face turn from total face turn for Big E, and he takes on, which is now his tag team partner, Mark Henry, but I can see that turning into a Mark Henry versus Big E for the Intercontinental Championship. Do you see Ryback and Curtis Axel, one of them turning on each other, that becoming a feud with each other? Because you're not going to see Paul Heyman until Brock Lesnar returns at WrestleMania, and I'm not sold that The Undertaker will be taking on Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I just don't see that. I don't see Hulk Hogan fighting at WrestleMania, taking on either John Cena or The Undertaker or Brock Lesnar. I can see more of a Hulk Hogan taking on Zeb Coulter and their whole we the people nonsense, with Hogan turning face, doing the whole I'm a real American thing, and showing Zeb Coulter and company that he is the real American. I just don't see Hulk Hogan being a final 3 matches of WrestleMania type guy right now, even if he has 1 match left in him. We'll get more into that when we have more of a panel. I'm running solo today, so we have no John, we have no Nick, and and a little later on we will have Destiny calling in Indie Star, ring announcer, manager, former manager of Jerry the King Lawler. She will be calling in around 6:20. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, you are stuck with me. We're going to go to a commercial break, and when we return, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant of why I'm very upset that the wrestling world, WWE and others, think the fans are really stupid, and they think that Ric Flair should be recognized as the bar of championship reigns to beat, and why I totally disagree with that. But right now, let's go to a promo.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the
Pro Wrestling is live. Brought to you by Jersey Championship Wrestling. Friday, December 6th, 2013 in Denellen, New Jersey. Live from the Denellen Knights of Columbus, 647 Grove Street in Denellen, New Jersey. Doors open at 6:45, bell time at 7:45. Come on down and see former WWE star Matt Striker, along with former ECW legend Rhino. See the Extreme Champion Bandito Jr. against Fightmare. The JCW World Heavyweight Champion will be defending his title, Damian Darling. Also on the card, Jeff Cannonball, Ricky Reyes,
Eric Andretti, Nikki Ocean, the Down Boys, Ryan Tweeden, Destiny, and many, many more JCW stars. Once again, come on down to the Denellen Knights of Columbus, Friday, December 6th, 2013, live JCW Wrestling.
Nothing wrong with me, nothing wrong with me. One, something's got to give. Two, something's got to give. Three, something's got to give. Now! Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
All right, we're back. A JCW promo. We'd like to thank Ricky O, as always, for welcoming Damage 365 Radio to every event. And Damage 365 Radio will be in attendance for that promoed December 6th, 2013 show in Denellen, New Jersey. We'll have the chance to do some pre-show interviews with aforementioned Matt Stryker, Rhino. We'll do some follow-up interviews with the Down Boys and Destiny, and hopefully many, many others as JCW invades Denellen, New Jersey. I look forward to that, and I look forward to our interviews with Rhino and Matt Stryker. And I'm actually looking forward to this next segment because, again, like I said, it bothers me that people, I don't want to say just the average fan, but I'm learning more and more that the average fan is probably about the age of anywhere from 22 to 26, and they just don't know the history of wrestling. And, why is Ric Flair recognized as the all-time leader with 16 world championships? And it's no disrespect to Ric Flair because he is wrestling, he is the entertainment side, not to mention he's really a 21-time champion, because for some reason WWE doesn't recognize his 5 NWA reigns before the creation of the big gold belt. But Jerry the King Lawler, yes, Jerry the King Lawler, he's a 28-time USWA World Heavyweight Champion. He's also held a total of 168 major total championships, which include many more territory world championships. So this guy is pretty much like a 75-time world champion. I don't understand. And to answer Felix Olmedo, who just chimed in from Pipe Bomb Radio, said that Ric Flair is a 17-time. Technically, he's a 21-time world champion. Like I said, I don't understand why the WWE doesn't recognize his NWA reigns before the big gold belt. When he defeated the likes of Harley Race and Dusty Rhodes. Don't understand it, but technically he is a 21-time champion. Jerry Lawler, still more championships. And, I put a little list together of guys who have had double-digit reigns as world champion in different companies and territories. And, they're not, compiled exactly to the T. There might be some guys I missed in between. This was done in like a 10-minute rant last night. Randy Macho Man Savage is a 10-time world champion. John Cena, who everybody's like, oh my goodness, John Cena, he only needs 5 more reigns to tie Ric Flair. Oh my goodness, he's an 11-time world champion. So is Randy Orton. Nobody says anything about Randy Orton being an 11-time world champion. It's always John Cena. Hulk Hogan is a 12-time world champion. Triple H, a 13-time. Sting, a 15-time champion. Sting. Nobody mentioned anything about Sting. Ric Flair, 16, and yes, the aforementioned Jerry Lawler, 28 times just of the USWA World Champion. There might be others that need to be added to the list. You know what? Maybe we'll contact somebody, get a historian involved, give us the top 50 all-time reigns of a World Heavyweight Champion. And you know what? I don't care if it's the USWA, the USF, the NWA. I don't care if it's the NWA, WWE, WWF. You know what? World champion is the world champion. And I don't care if the WWE owns the rights to use or recognize guys as world champions because they don't have contracts and their lawyers didn't agree to be able to use that name. You know what? People have the power of the internet now, okay? They can go back and see Ric Flair win the NWA title in 1978 if it was televised. They can see it. You're not going to recognize it even though you're watching it with your own eyes. I think that's a bunch of garbage. Back in the day with the territories, each territory had its own world champion. The NWA was recognized as the elite. That was the champion of champions. And if that's the champion of champions, then you got to recognize everybody that won that title and the amount of times they won it. And don't omit some of the title reigns because you're not allowed to use that information. Garbage. You know what? You put an asterisk next to it. That's, baseball can do it, wrestling can do it. And you know what? I just need to know why Ric Flair is the bar that is being used to set the champion. Like 16-time world champion Ric Flair. Even though he's the 21-time, but whatever. 16-time world champion. I just don't understand it, And I feel bad. I feel bad for guys like Jerry Lawler, because Jerry Lawler, who's given his life to, and he technically almost gave his life to this business live on Monday Night Raw. He's not getting the respect he deserves, and I think that's nonsense. I think Jerry Lawler deserves the accolades that he deserves. He needs to be recognized as I don't care, whatever you want to do it. He needs to be recognized as a multi-champion. 168 total championships. Yes, that includes TV titles, U.S. titles, tag team titles, international titles. I understand that. But the USWA alone, 28 times. Okay? And there are other guys who have held the USWA championship, including the Macho Man Randy Savage. Okay? Including Ric Flair. Including Jerry Lawler. And yet, it's just not recognized. And you know what? That's why I like when a fan goes out and they do the extra footwork and they post on some of their sites and say, look, this is the way it is. This guy wore the world title around his waist 28 times, so he's a 28-time world champion. I don't care what the creative mind of WWE hides behind their lawyers and their pens and their little padfolios and their little laptops and tablets and claim that, you know what, Jerry Lawler doesn't get the respect he deserves. And you know who does get the respect he deserves? Bobby the Brain Heenan. Bobby the Brain Heenan, who is now the official winner of our first annual Paul Bear Cup tournament. He beat out Sensational Sherry in the finals to win that tournament, and we want to say congratulations to Bobby the Brain Heenan, who not only took home the Stables Cup, he now takes home the first annual Paul Bear Cup, as recognized as one of the greatest managers of all time. And I don't think anybody can take that away from Bobby the Brain Heenan. Bobby the Brain Heenan, congratulations. We wish you lots of health, much better health in the future. And we look to possibly, one day bump into you at one of these autograph signing shows. What a great guy, this guy. I mean, great manager, a great analyst, a comedian on the microphone. Missed the days of him and Gorilla Monsoon. I missed the days of him and Vince McMahon on mic. It was, it was a sad day when all these guys retired, and we got this new collection of people that, it took a long time for the old school wrestling fans to get used to. It took a long time, but we love Bobby the Brain Heenan. So we're waiting on Destiny to give us a call. She'll be giving us a call any second. And Destiny is she's awesome. Ring announcer, like I said. She was a manager of Jerry the King Lawler. We're going to get into that with her, and let's welcome her to the show right now. Damage 365 would like to welcome to the show a special guest, a former manager of Jerry the King Lawler, as we were speaking about him earlier. Welcome to the show, Destiny.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing great.
All right. So we were just getting into a conversation I was, because I'm by myself today, so I'm talking to myself. And I got into a conversation saying that Jerry Lawler does not get the accolades he deserves as a 28-time USWA World Champion, that Ric Flair is recognized as the bar setter at 16 times, and I think that WWE needs to go back to their record books, and they need to update their record books, whether they own the rights to do it or not, and maybe put some asterisks next to people's numbers and say, you know what, this is what we're allowed to recognize, but this is what really happened. And Jerry Lawler deserves 168 major titles to his name, 28 times with the USWA. I think Jerry Lawler should be the bar setter.
Absolutely. Jerry's extremely talented, a great individual, a blast to hang around, talented. Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more.
See? Look, even when I'm by myself, sometimes I make sense. Okay. Let's get into a couple questions. JT's not with us today, but he did text me a question for you. He wanted to know, I know this is going to be a two-part open-ended question, what other companies are you currently working with? Because we know you're working with JCW, because we're going to see you on the 6th. And out of that companies, which one is your favorite?
Okay. First off, companies that I'm currently working for? Okay, I work for, like you said, JCW.
Mm-hmm.
BPW, it's Valor Pro Wrestling out of Red Lion, Pennsylvania. CWA, Classic Wrestling Association, based out of Patterson. PWA, Pocono Wrestling Alliance, out of Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Let me see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't want to miss anybody. Now, when it comes to which company is my favorite, no, I'm not going to answer that question because I'm not going to get fired.
Man, we couldn't even set you up.
They are all great companies. I always have a blast, and no, I will not answer that question either.
All right, JT, you're not going to get that part B of your question answered, but that's okay. She got the first question. I wasn't expecting you to answer the second part, but that's all right. We're going to get back to Jerry Lawler. How was your experience, and how did that all happen that you got to work with Jerry Lawler? And, just give us a couple of, maybe little notes or just memories of being around Jerry the King.
Well, Jerry is definitely a practical joker. Great. You're never going to be bored. And basically what had happened is I started working for NWA New Jersey with Dennis Corluzzo. And I was brand new. I couldn't be greener. So basically what he was doing is every show, okay, this person needs a manager. You, go. So what had happened is I started bringing in Jerry, and Jerry started talking to me, and he basically went, he goes, what do you do here? And I told you what I just told you, basic. He puts me with whoever because I'm brand new and never done this before. And Jerry went, oh, great. You can be with me from now on.
Nice.
And so that quick, that simple from, from just being, here, there to Jerry Lawler.
So you just happened to be standing in the right place at the right time?
At the right time.
So basically, if you had to go to the bathroom at that moment, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Pretty much.
That's awesome. What are some of your best memories of working with Jerry?
This actually involves Al Snow, and I was at an after party after a show in Bensalem.
Okay.
So basically it was, Al's probably going to get angry if he's listening.
That's all right. We already seen him molest you live at the last Manville event.
Well, basically it was Dory Funk's birthday. So Dory Funk, his wife Marty, and Jerry Lawler were sitting at a table, and they had a birthday cake for Dory. Jerry calls me over and he's like, you deal, because you been in the food industry, and he goes, "You've dealt with food?" And he goes, "Something's wrong with this cake. We think it smells funny."
Oh boy.
So I look at him, and I go to lean in, and I go, "Oh, no. All right, and I'm like, "No." And Jerry's like, "Ugh," right? So now Al comes along, and they're like, "Al, we got this cake for Dory, and, something's not right. We think it smells funny. Could you come over and, take a sniff?" Well, Al goes to lean down. He gets as close as he could possibly get. The three of them jump up and smash his face into this cake. So hard that his head hits the table of course, where the cake is seated. He comes up. The cake is up his nose. It's in his eye sockets. It's in his hair. And all he does is burst out laughing. So he takes it like you would not believe it. And then I knew the cardinal rule that if I had said something, somehow I'd be wearing that cake. So we get Al all cleaned up, and Al comes back out with me and looks at Jerry, and he goes, "Not that I wanted it to happen to her, but..." And Jerry goes, "Yeah, we asked her first, and she didn't fall for it. You did."
So you outsmarted Al Snow.
What?
You outsmarted Al Snow.
That one moment.
I was going to say, many people who followed Al Snow's career might say that might not be hard to do, but I got to meet Al Snow in person and interview him, and he's a very, unlike his gimmick at wrestling, he's a very, very intelligent man.
Yes, he is. He's an all-around great guy.
Okay.
He's a great guy.
I'm sure we can have more conversations probably into tomorrow about Al Snow and some of those guys.
See, look, that's just a little example of Jerry. So picture someone like that all the time.
A lot of people just don't. Like I was saying, a lot of other average wrestling fans are between the ages of like 20 and 26, and they don't really understand the business beyond like the John Cena era. They don't understand the territories. They didn't understand how these guys are on the road 340 days a year. That they don't get paid. They didn't get paid a lot of money. It was enough maybe to put food on the table for the week. But these guys, they didn't sign multi-million-dollar, multi-year deals like they do now. It was you show up, and if the promoter wanted to, they put you on, and then you get paid for the day at the end, providing they had enough people come through the gate. Mm-hmm. And it was a lot different. But you got to see some of that. So, what do you think the major? And I'm not going to say the major difference is, because every generation is different. But like, what do you feel is missing from wrestling now that might have been around during those days?
Well, I do remember that no matter what, if you were injured and you wanted to get paid, you worked through it. I mean, I'm grateful now that it's not like that now, because unfortunately if you're hurt, and you need time to heal. And I don't think anybody should have to work under the conditions of being broken or busted up and split themselves through a match.
Right.
So that's like one of the good things. But it slipped my mind what I was going to say.
Well, it's nice to have guaranteed. It's nice to have guaranteed contracts like they do now.
Yeah, like now it's now it's guaranteed. But what it is a lot of people think it's like all glitz and glamour, and back then it was basically. And as one of the wrestlers summed it up for me, you went out and you made enough money to put food on the table. Thousands of people cheer you. You're on TV or this or that, and then you go home and do your laundry.
Yep.
It's like a personality check comes in.
Okay, here's a question. This gets sent in by a friend of mine from Pipe Bomb Radio, Felix Omino. He wants to know. I mean, he made a statement, but I'm going to change it into a question. He wants to know, in your opinion, do you think the internet has ruined wrestling?
Yes, because it exposes everything.
Okay, that's exactly what he said, and I agree with that 110%. Every other day, I'm reading about spoilers. This is what's going to happen. This is what's leaked out of here. This person's going to win this match. This person's going to win this title, and
even on a personal level, though, it's it's a little bit, it's too personal. Like family's family, business is business. Keep family out of it. Keep personal problems out of it, and let it be what it's about. Pro wrestling.
And I also don't want to see pictures of CM Punk Paul Heyman, Curtis Axel, and AJ Lee having dinner in Germany while they're doing house shows in Germany. I don't need to see that on the internet.
No, it doesn't. No, because everybody has a cell phone, as has been said. Act like you're always being filmed.
Yes, and that was the big difference back in the 70s and even the early 80s. And I've mentioned this scenario about 5 times on this show. Back in I want to say it was about 1986, coming home from the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Nikolai Volkov, and the Iron Sheik were all driving together in the car, and they got pulled over for speeding. And it was all over the newspaper the next day. And Vince McMahon played damage control, and he was like, well, despite them fighting each other that night, you know, some of these guys don't make a lot of money, so they have to put their personal feelings aside and carpool.
In a limo.
Yeah. Well, knowing Hacksaw Jim Duggan, it might have been a pickup truck. So.
I want to carpool that way.
So, I mean, even back then, without the internet, you know, but that story went away quick. Now it just lingers because, you know, as you saw yesterday, Paul Walker from Fast and Furious passed away. It was all over the internet within seconds, and you were reading the same story 150 times in an hour. And, you know, that is the power, and sometimes that is the evil of the internet. And it you know, it's ruined things like wrestling because the whole element of wrestling is the surprise. And right now, the surprise isn't there anymore.
That's very, very true. That does take away a lot from it. Because when I was a kid, I used to love it, you know, root for good, you know, boo evil. You just had a great time with it, and you never knew. And of course, you never would have thought of seeing, like you said, Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Iron Sheik in the same car together. Now, I mean, they couldn't even run into each other on the street without somebody clicking a camera and putting it on the internet.
And that's what ruins it. And I think the minds of WWE and the minds of TNA, and I'm only going to mention TNA because they're the only, if you want to call it, and I'll put my air quotes, competition that WWE has. You know, they have to step up and do something now. They have to stop the leaks. They have to make these employees sign contracts that if they talk about anything that has to do with that side of the business, that they can be prosecuted, they can be fired, they can be sued, whatever it is, to stop these leaks. And they need to take better measures to keep it quiet so there is surprise. Sorry.
Agreed, very agreed. But I'm not sure if it's all talent. It would have to be all the employees. Every employee would have to agree to that set of standards.
Well, that's why you make them sign on a piece of paper.
And there's always somebody that hears something and twists it around as the, you know, what's the expression? Believe half of what you believe, none of what you hear, and only half of what you see.
Yes. Well, you know, I belong to about I don't know, maybe like 200 wrestling pages on Facebook, and and I call it and you've probably seen me post it before, I call them the copy and paste generation.
Yes, everybody's a journalist.
Yes. They see one person do it, they copy and paste it and spread it. The next person copy and pastes it and spread it. And before you know, you got a virus going around the internet because everybody's copying and pasting the same story, calling it their own. Meanwhile, it's been pasted about 700 times, and all 700 of them have the same grammar mistakes and the same misspellings. So you can see that those people didn't actually write it. But I just think, in my opinion, wrestling has to get better with keeping things hush. The pay-per-views are very weak right now. I was very sad to see how bad Survivor Series was, and you know, Survivor Series being one of the core 4 pay-per-views, one of the originals, and you expect so much more out of Mania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, and the Royal Rumble, and you know, they really shit the bed with the Survivor Series, and I was very upset, and a lot of people were upset, and WWE can't afford for people to keep demanding their money back from the cable companies, because eventually the cable companies are going to say, WWE, screw you, we're tired of giving people money back for your bad product, go get your own network.
No, they'll just stream it on the internet, like all these other companies do.
Hey, we're not supposed to say that. Okay, let me get into my final question.
A little slower, but...
Yeah, sometimes. You might have to hit refresh like 16 times. And 18 pop-up ads about Viagra.
There's always a way, yes.
How did you get into wrestling?
Wow. Okay. My mom's a huge fan.
Okay.
And when I started being... I watched this probably like I was 6, 8 years old. And as soon as I started to drive, I would basically take her down to the Philadelphia Spectrum every month. Well, I became friends with the ticket agent, and every month we would have the same exact seats.
Okay.
Like front row, same seats, $12 a ticket.
Not bad.
Well, I became friends with the camera crew. And so when they started doing a lot more TV and more pay-per-views, the camera crew would always, I could be 20 rows back. They would circle my section, tell me what sign to make for who, and put me on TV. So I've been on Raws, pay-per-views. I've even been spliced into places that I've never been. You know, because my friends were like, oh, I just saw you. I was like, okay, all right, yeah, good. So then from there, I was at a wrestling convention, and a promoter approached me, and he goes, oh, you're that ringer that WWE uses with the signs and puts you on TV all the time. And I go, no, I don't work for them, not at all. And I went, oh, good. Want to work for us?
Man, you really are in the right places at the right times. I'm gonna have to start. You know, a company. You know what? When I go play Lotto next time and play Powerball, I'm gonna bring you with me.
You're like, let me rub your back or something.
Something. I have to get some kind of luck out of you. You know, you have the tendency to be at the right place at the right time.
About the rubbing thing there, so I went with the back.
All right, so I'm going to give you this time. We got about 5 minutes or so to promo whatever you got coming up. So I'm going to give you the platform.
You got it. Okay. As I will see you Friday night, JCW at the Danilo Knights of Columbus with Matt Stryker and Rhino on top. Great show, and Damian Darling's their champion. That'll be a lot of fun. Then, the next night, Valor Pro Wrestling, if you happen to be in the Norristown, Pennsylvania area. Yeah, listen to me. We got out of Red Lion. We're in Norristown, Pennsylvania, an hour from me, at the East Norristown Middle School Gym. Bell time there at 7 o'clock. Then we have the following weekend, I'm back with Valor, but this time we are Red Lion, Pennsylvania, which is where I'm at. It's a good 3 hours away. We have the Patriot on top for that show. Now here's the one that I think is important, because all the talent donated their time for this one.
Okay.
And not that they're all not important, but this is because it's Toys for Tots. All four, I think every child should have a toy. I don't care if there's a million Toys for Tots shows. It's all good. So this is the Classic Wrestling Association is doing Toys for Tots on September 21st in Paterson, New Jersey. Bell time 6 o'clock at the CWA Arena, and that's at 468 Totowa Avenue.
Nice.
And then the following weekend, now we have JCW's Holiday Spectacular in Kenilworth, and that's going to be at the Kenilworth Veterans Center. And that seems to be Matt Stryker, the Spirit Squad, that has a pretty big lineup as well.
I think I might have to go to that one.
Oh, good. So, but if this helps, of course, I'm on Facebook, Destiny, space, a.k.a. Jackie. I always post all the information for these shows. You can inbox me, and I'll answer all your questions.
And you can also visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/Damage365. I pretty much repost everything that Destiny posts on our page and my personal page, just to get it out there, because we like to do favors for each other, because Destiny's taking time out of her life to interview with us, and I take time out of what I'm doing to repost things for her, because that's how it is. Well, if you want to say I scratch your back and I rub yours, whatever the case may be.
Scratch each other.
Or as Al Snow does, you scratch his back and he molests you live in front of all the fans.
He basically scared the crap out of me.
We have it on video. It was pretty hilarious.
All I was thinking was, oh, stalker!
Be like the kids from Kindergarten Cop. Everybody stop pointing at him and going, stranger!
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, so do you have anything else for us?
Not that I can think of. I really appreciate you taking this time with me.
Oh, no, we appreciate you giving us the call and doing some promos and answering some questions. And Of course, we will see you on December 6th in Dunellen as JCW invades Dunellen's Knights of Columbus, and Bandito Jr. and Damian Darling will defend their titles, and Matt Stryker and Rhino will be there, and Destiny will be there, and she'll be doing her waving and her blowing kisses and
ring announcing that night.
And ring announcing, maybe signing some autographs and high-fiving people and all that fun stuff.
Showing
because
some pictures, hint, wink, wink, you know.
You know, because she's people-friendly, folks, so don't be afraid of her. Destiny,
Somebody's afraid of me, but okay.
thank you very much for taking the time to come on the show. You have well, I'm not gonna wish you a happy holidays yet, because I will see you on the 6th, so you enjoy the rest of your night.
You got it. Thank you very much.
All right, take care.
Take it easy.
All right, bye-bye. That was Destiny, ladies and gentlemen. She'll be, like we said, JCW this December 6th at the Knights of Columbus in Dunellen, New Jersey. She's a great person. So we're going to go right back into that promo as we take Destiny out with Jerry the King Lawler's old music. So hold on one second.
Pro Wrestling is live. Brought to you by Jersey Championship Wrestling. Friday, December 6th, 2013 in Dunellen, New Jersey. Live from the Dunellen Knights of Columbus, 647 Grove Street in Dunellen, New Jersey. Doors open at 6:45, bell time at 7:45. Come on down and see former WWE star Matt Stryker, along with former ECW legend Rhino. See the Extreme Champion Bandito Jr. against Fightmare. The JCW World Heavyweight Champion will be defending his title, Damian Darling. Also on the card, Jeff Cannonball, Ricky Reyes, Eric Andretti, Nikki Ocean, the Down Boys, Ryan Tweeden, Destiny, and many, many more JCW stars. Once again, come on down to the Dunellen Knights of Columbus, Friday, December 6th, 2013, live JCW Wrestling.
And welcome back. And we'd like to thank Destiny once again. And I'd like to thank you, the fans, who have made Damage 365 so special to do week in and week out. We come to the close of episode number 34. And once again, we'd like to thank Destiny. We'd like to thank JCW Wrestling. We'd like to thank you, the fans. Next week, hopefully, JT will be back in the house, along with Nick. And next week, we have a special guest. It will be April Hunter. Yes, April Hunter. Former TNA star will be in the house interviewing with us. Just can't wait for that. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a great week. And remember this. Control the nitwit population and have your friends spayed or neutered.
Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I know who I want to take me home. I know who I want to take me home. I know who I want to take me home. Take me home. Closing time. Time for you to go out to the places you will